Been here since 1865. Bow ties and bowler hats. Here's a lot of what we make right here. Town with 9,000 people that lost 2,500 good paying jobs. You tell me what that does to a town. Grocery store here, 9 out of 10 people pay with the access card. I think there's a lot of people that don't respect work anymore. Now they want to be a TikTok influencer or hit the Powerball lottery. Those are your two main things you hear from people. It's scary. Coal miners were replaced by a lot of that stuff many years ago. Here's more tool sets, every different perforation pattern. These are old carts from the railway stations. Don't find as many young people that want to get involved in the trades, unfortunately. Get an old car, fix it with your dad. You'd be in the garage spinning wrenches. That teaches you a trade. They said everybody I know who made it in business was in the office from 7 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. Any mistakes? I try not to remember those too much.
There you go. Oh, all right, so I am in Tamaqua, Pennsylvania with Bernie. We are at Remaly Manufacturing. This is the oldest perforated metal manufacturer in the United States, and he's nice enough to open up the shop, show us the history, and show us around.
First of all, it's an old company. It's been here since 1865. If you look at some of our old advertising stuff, Telephone 57, that goes back to the early 1900s. And if we look at the old office staff in here, old telephones, guys with bow ties and bowler hats. So you have quite a few old things here. A lot of guys here. It's been my wife's family since roughly the Civil War.
Wow.
Long time. It's been here. I think it's the second oldest business in Schuylkill County. The only older continuous one would be Yingling in Pottsville. They're 1829. So
Everybody
they made the beer,
Yingling.
we made the steel or whatever. So
Nice.
you know, we were able to do some different
So
things.
you said it's your wife's family?
It's my wife's family, the
Okay.
Yost family.
Very
They were,
cool.
yeah, they were part of it. And Mr. Remaly was associated with the company only like the first 5 years, and then my wife's grandfather great-grandfather bought him out. So that's many years ago,
Yeah.
probably in the 1870s or 1880s or whatever.
Okay.
That time frame, long time.
Yeah. So when this started in the Civil War time, they were doing perforated metal?
For coal mines.
Oh, okay.
Most of the work we do was for coal mines. Probably made 90% of the business a number of years ago. It still is an important part, but coal isn't as important as it was even 20 years ago.
Sure.
It still is important, but not as many people use it per household.
So
Here's
that-
a lot of what we make right here.
So
it's an example.
basically, I'm assuming this is for sorting coal sizes.
It can be, yeah. This might be for that in particular. Yeah, I think this is for a coal mine company.
Yeah.
And basically, they will size the coal with a different size hole. It sizes different size coal.
Sure.
So a bigger hole drops bigger coal and then gets rid of the other product. You want to hold certain stuff and drop certain stuff. And that's pretty much what you go by. Different coal, whether it's barley coal or rice coal, it's all different, needs different size materials.
Sure. Gotcha.
We're going to put the hooks on these ladies.
Sounds good.
So this was a big coal mining area for people who don't know.
Oh, sure. I mean, Tamaqua still mines coal, a lot of coal. But again, it's nowhere near as labor intensive as it even was 40 years ago. Most of it's earth movers and that. It's
Right.
just a lot more mechanization.
Right.
So when people worry about artificial intelligence replacing them, coal miners were replaced by a lot of that stuff many years ago.
Right,
So
Some of these machines look ancient.
some of them are old, some of them are new.
Okay.
But these are perforation presses, and that's a tool set that goes in.
So how old is this machine here?
Hard to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be 100 years old,
Could
probably.
be, yeah.
So what, do you got a big flywheel here on the side that
Yep.
stores up energy, and then are you still using this machine?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay. And it's built right into the floor, huh?
Sure it is. It's
Okay.
right down to bedrock.
Really?
It has to be.
Wow.
It would shake itself loose if it weren't. It's right down to bedrock.
Okay, because all that pounding, it would
Yeah.
just smash the floor?
Yep, exactly. And there's a leveling machine. After you punch the metal, you can see how it comes out curled.
Okay.
People don't want curled metal like that. They want it nice and flat like
Okay,
that.
sure.
So you have to run it through leveling rolls to flatten it.
Okay.
If it's not flat, it's not worth anything.
So this would be like some normal product that
Yep,
you make
exactly.
here?
After it comes out of the press, this is what it looks like. If you look at it, it's rolled up in
Yep.
a band. That's just the stress being removed from the product. So it just closes it up. Now, if you can't level it, you can't perforate. That's half of perforation, which is one of those machines right there.
Yeah.
That will make it flat. Here's more tool sets. Every different perforation pattern has a different tool set.
Okay.
Now this one might be by looking at a 1/4-inch round hole.
Okay. So yeah, these.
Yep, this is an 1/8 of an inch round hole.
The material.
Yep,
Now,
it
now
comes-
why are they all these different heights here?
They're different heights because if you put them all at the same height, they all hit at the same time. If they all hit at the same time, it's a big crash and the tonnage is double.
Oh.
If you take 3 different lengths and put them in there, one height, another height, another height,
Yeah.
you can cut the tonnage down by 1/3.
Really?
Yeah, it's not going to all hit at once.
Right,
If everything hits all at once, it's a big explosion.
Right.
So if you can stagger them at different heights, instead of it being 1,000 tons, it might be 200 tons.
So are these like somewhat randomly placed, or is there a pattern to how these are placed with the heights?
Yes, that's what you have to know, is how to set the press up. That's what a press operator needs to know. You have to know that you have to put them in a random pattern.
Okay.
So you're going to keep your punches in different, you have to sharpen them first of all, and then you have to make sure they're put in correctly, that you don't have all the same height at one level, because they will break.
Are these carbide or tool steel or something?
Hardened tool steel.
Hardened tool steel, yeah, okay.
We make our tools here.
Oh, do you?
And this is the stripper plate down here. That's what pulls the slug out after you punch it through. It'll go right through these holes.
Okay.
And then it won't let the material come up through it.
Okay. Now this material, is this like aesthetic for some architectural thing, or is this?
I don't know
You might
for
not
sure
even
what
know,
this
okay.
one is. I would have to say probably going to be used in food processing or
Okay.
petrochemical industry.
Is that stainless?
It is.
Okay, figured.
Yeah, we do a lot of stainless.
Okay, cool. All right, I had to take the opportunity to plug my day job as a salesman for Campro USA, which is what allows me to get around to all these shops. I am in the showroom in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, where we have machines under power and parts in stock. We do service out of here as well. Box and linear wave vertical machining centers, same thing on the turning centers. We have full 5-axis, and then all the way up to big double column bridge mills. Machines come with FANUC control. I sell direct from the factory in East Pennsylvania. The bang for the buck is almost impossible to beat. If you're somewhere else in the country and are interested, I'm happy to connect you with one of our dealers. Okay, thanks. Back to the video. We got some of the newer equipment back here then.
Yes, we do.
So this is a
That's
shear?
a shear, a 12-footer,
Okay.
12-foot shear. You can go through 1/2 inch with that. 1/2 inch, 12-foot.
Okay.
That gives you a nice bang when it hits.
Yeah, no kidding.
And
Now these are some cool carts. These look old.
yeah, these are old. These are old carts from the railway station.
Okay.
My wife's grandfather, he bought them when the train station was closing down. I guess that would have been the early 1970s. He was involved in the town to a large extent. I believe he was mayor for about 16 years. They were selling off everything. That used to be a freight station and a passenger station. They closed it in the early 70s. I don't know the exact year, but they were just going to get rid of them. He bought them and brought them here. So they've been here for 50 plus years. And they were at this train station for probably 100 before that.
Right.
They're very old.
Well, that's pretty neat. The wood wheels.
Oh yeah, we just put steel on them so they would wear better.
Okay. Oh, forklift coming through.
This is CNC punching.
Okay.
Instead of an all-cross tool press, this is more computer controlled.
Okay. So for some intricate pattern or something,
Yep.
like why would you need a CNC punch?
You would use a CNC punch if you want to get a different approach. When you use an all-across perf tool like that, you can only do a certain width, or you have to keep changing the tool out. If you want to have a random pattern that's a bit different, like decorative in nature, this would be more adaptable for that.
Okay, gotcha.
It's a little more versatile. It's not as quick, but it's more versatile.
Sure. So
Same
you're
thing
doing
with
one
these
hole
other
at a
tools.
time with these, basically, or much
Or
fewer?
series of holes. You produce cluster punches. We make our own tools, and I'll show you that in a little time. Instead of hitting one hit, you'd make a tool about this big, maybe 4 inches by 4 inches, and put your pattern on there when you can, and that makes it a lot quicker.
Yep, gotcha. You were telling me that this used to have like a main power takeoff coming down through the middle.
It did. If you look up on the ceiling, we have torn a lot of it down over the years. You could see a lot of it that was on the ceiling, and you could see that it had all the different power things on it, where they had the belt-driven system. I have some older pictures I can share with you on that.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
You could see where they were clamped on with those braces up in there.
Sure.
I replaced all that.
Yep.
Yeah, I
no
mean, I
need for
put-
that anymore.
I put new electric in this place. It cost me $150,000 just to do that because the system was older. I
Yep.
did that already 10 years ago.
Sure.
When you have a company, there's always money to spend, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, there's,
Always things upgrade.
yeah. And these are all your CNC punching machines. They all do essentially the same thing.
Okay. Now, This one looks pretty new.
Yeah, that one's new.
You said you got a new piece of equipment just the other day, right?
Yeah, I did. I don't have it hooked up yet though. But this is another CNC punch.
So this is like a different configuration than, what do you call this, like a C-frame?
Yeah, it's a little bit different than that one.
What's the advantage of this? Or what's the difference, I guess?
It's a little bit bigger and it's a little bit quicker.
Okay. So you probably have a bigger
Yeah, so when you come down on it, yes, you look at the tool holder right there.
Okay.
That's about 8 inches across.
Yep.
And I think these are limited to 4 inches. This is 8 inches.
So you could do double the
right,
number
so you
of
can
punches.
do more. Exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
And that's an expanded metal machine.
That looks expensive.
Yep.
So, okay, you're stretching this. You take a sheet of
Exactly.
plate
right here.
and
And
then
you
you-
make it into this. That's
Okay.
for expanded metal.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, cool.
And these are all the CNCs. That's the old manual ones there.
Another old one
And
there.
here we go into another area. We do some of our fabrication over here. We do some of our forming over here, different things, welding also. That's for material handling right there. That's where we put our sheet stock right into those,
Yep, cool.
into those racks.
Oh, you pull the whole thing out?
Yeah, you can pull the whole cartridge out
Neat.
one at a time. So yeah, that's helpful right there. It saves some time. And here is a set of forming rolls. Another set, I just bought these.
Okay,
We're gonna have
that's
to
put
figure
a
out
certain,
where to
bend
put
in
them
or whatever.
and everything. So yeah, that'll form your metal into if you have a piece of steel and you want to make it into a cylinder,
Yep.
put it in there and roll it. And
Okay.
that makes it into a cylinder. Same thing that this one does, except for this one's old.
Yeah.
That one's new.
Boy, be curious. Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, they're old.
Yeah, you're probably not getting a lot of this equipment made in the U.S. anymore.
No, unfortunately, you're right. Here's where we do some welding. We used to have 3 full-time welders. We're down to like 1.5 now. Just don't find as many young people that want to get involved in the trades, unfortunately. They don't understand what production is. You've got to put out so many pieces a day in order to, make it something we can do. And that's a problem for the country right now, I think.
Yeah.
I think we have to get better at that. Here's where we do our bending here. Some of them are old. That's a old, more manual 12-foot. That's a CNC press, or that's a computer numeric control.
Right. Trump,
bending
that's a good name.
Yeah.
I know that.
That one's only about 7 years old. These other ones are probably 35, 40, 50 years old.
So if you're explaining to somebody who knows nothing about what this
These are
machine
tools
does,
that you put into your brake, and this makes your bend. So you're going to put your metal into here, and it's going to bend it. Now, depending upon the tool you put in, it's going to have to match up with the block on the bottom. When it matches up, it makes a certain bend profile, whether you want a 90 or whether you want a 45 or whatever your bend angle might be. But you have to know a little bit about the tooling in order to make that.
Now, do you make the tooling?
We don't make this tooling.
Okay.
No, you could, but it's not worth it.
Yeah.
That tooling's purchased outside.
Right.
And basically, you will put some of the tool in here, and it comes into the block on the bottom. And based upon those two tools coming together, you get a certain bend profile out of
Okay.
it.
Yep.
And that's pretty much how that goes.
So you guys also do like general sheet metal type stuff?
Oh yeah, we do a
Okay.
lot of sheet metal too. We do a lot of fabricating work. We do a lot of welding work, repair work, all kinds of stuff.
Uh-huh.
We've been doing it for many a year. We're a good group of guys.
Yeah. And is there a certain main industry that you serve? I know you mentioned
I
coal.
would say we serve any industry. We're a job shop, so anybody who wants a job done, we'll take a look at it. We give
Yeah.
you a quote, no charge for the quote.
Right.
So that's fine. Everything, production, architectural work, pharmaceutical work,
Yeah.
chemical, petrochemical industry, pretty much anything we'll tackle.
Yeah.
We take a look at it. If we can do a job, we'll give you a fair price. If we can't do it, we'll let you know we can't
Yeah.
do it.
Do you do work for the natural gas companies in like Northeast Pennsylvania?
A little bit, but not as much. I think more of that work is out of Williamsport and out of Scranton area.
Yeah.
There's quite a few companies up there that do that. But yeah, we have.
Yeah.
We have.
Okay.
A lot of our product goes to Texas, Oklahoma.
Oh, for the oil
Yeah,
stuff
for the
down
oil
there.
and that, yep.
Yeah,
Here's
interesting.
one of our guys right here. He's a welder. His name is DJ. You're going to be on a little short movie here. You can tell the guys what you do here.
Pretty much weld.
How long have you been a welder here?
Total probably about 5 years.
Yeah.
6 years maybe.
He took a hiatus during COVID. We didn't see him for about a year and a half. And then,
Pretty crappy,
Oh, yeah.
well, you were pretty sick.
but yeah, in the hospital for 2 months with COVID.
With COVID? Jeez.
I was on a ventilator, I was on all of good
A
stuff.
ventilator?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, they-
Glad you're better.
Read your last rites, didn't they? When he had COVID.
Really?
Yeah. Then I called my mom and dad, told them I wasn't going to make it.
Wow.
Yeah, but I don't have my last rights and stuff with me, so.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
God
I'm
wants
glad
him.
you make it.
God wants him here for something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be here for some reason.
Gotta
Yeah, for some good
reevaluate
reason.
things.
That's right. Thanks for your time.
Nice to meet you. So you mentioned it's hard to find skilled work anymore. What do you think happened as far as the workforce?
A lot of things have happened. We turned our back on production back in the late 80s, early 90s when we took NAFTA in. We were supposed to go completely high tech. Never worked. I mean, on paper, it looked like a good idea, just like communism on paper looks like a good idea, but it doesn't work.
Sure.
It's kind of like one of these things, you're going to trust somebody else to do your work for you. How? I mean, these people China can make computer chips, we can't. We couldn't even build cars during COVID. We couldn't get computer chips. We handed them to them. Now at least you have President Trump that realizes that, and they're helping to bring some of that work back. I think a lot of people were shied away from getting involved in anything that had to do with getting your hands dirty. It was looked as, you know, lower class peasant type of work. And I think a lot of people took that to heart. They just didn't go into it. And I think a lot of people don't realize that, you know, having a college degree is fine. I have one, but unless you have a trade to go to, it's not going to help you.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to get a doctorate degree today to even be competitive in a lot of fields.
Right.
Psychology, you can have a psychology degree, that's fine, but unless you have advanced training and so forth, you can't see
Right.
anybody.
Yeah, people don't know how to interact with the real world anymore.
No,
It's
they
physical
don't.
things.
It's just different. I think there's a lot of people that don't respect work anymore.
Yep.
I think that's part of it. I think, you know, years ago, people, when they were in school, at least when I was in school, they wanted to go to trade school, be a diesel mechanic, be a good welder, be a good plumber, a carpenter, whatever. Now they want to be a TikTok influencer or hit the Powerball lottery. Those are your two main things you hear from people. It's scary.
What if you were giving advice to a kid who's, you know, trying to figure out what to do with his career? I mean, considering the facts on the ground, what would you
Keep your options open, get some education, whether it's trade school or college, but realize what they train you for is probably going to be different than what you end up doing in your actual day-to-day work. Your company will help with the training on that. I would say get into a field where you're going to have some knowledge and you can't be replaced all that easily. If you're a plumber, for instance, you'll have a trade. If you're a good electrician, you'll have a trade. If you're a tool and die maker or a machinist, you'll have a job. So far as something like truck driving goes, it's a good field, but let's face it, they're looking at getting artificial intelligence and robots to drive tractor trailers in the future. It'll put a lot of people out of work. Just like the coal mines used to have all the guys with picks and shovels, swinging shovels all day and picks. There's no need for it anymore. Get 2 earth movers and they replace 200 guys.
Right. Yeah.
Easily.
Yep. Yeah. For sure.
Same thing's happening in industry around.
Yeah.
So long as you can think and you're willing to learn and you're adaptable, you'll have work.
Yeah.
You'll have work.
Now, what do you think about, like, I guess the fulfillment in work when you're working with physical things versus sitting at a desk?
Well,
Have you
that's
worked
what I
both
like.
of those?
That's why I like being here. I like quoting a job, figuring out how to make it, telling the guys how to make it, and then seeing it get shipped and somebody can use it.
Yeah.
That's what I like. I was a number cruncher by trade. I did auditing work. I had it after 10 years. Not for me.
Yeah. You'd rather be making real things,
Yes, that's how I feel about
huh?
it.
Sure.
But that's how it comes out of the press, and you have to level it.
Okay. So when you buy the material, it probably comes on a big roll or something?
Yeah, and then you run it through the presses, but then when it comes off the press, it's rolled again. There's so much stress in it. This machine will level it out for you.
Gotcha. Neat. How is finding skilled work one of the main challenges for your business, or what's the main
It's
challenge?
not as easy as it was 10 or 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, I think there was a lot of people who I could advertise for tool and die makers. You could find them. They're few and far between today. Like I said, when I was in high school, a lot of the boys went to Stevens Trade School. They wanted to learn to be a tool and die maker or a good CAD designer or something. I don't think you find as much of that today.
Right.
Then again, when I was a kid, a lot of people, a hobby for a lot of guys was get an old car, fix it with your dad. You'd be in the garage spinning wrenches, trying to figure out how to make parts and do things. That teaches you a trade. That teaches you how to do something.
Right.
That's harder to find those people today.
Yeah,
It
for
really
sure.
is. This is an old part of the building. It was a mule stable at one time.
Oh, yeah?
If you look at those archways there,
Uh-huh.
they were bricked up, of course. But that's where the mules used to live in here, and they'd go to the train station and bring it back on wagons. This was a mule stable.
Interesting. Huh. So the mules were, what did they use the mules for? Just
To drag
moving material?
to pull the material from the train station. It came out of Bethlehem Steel.
Yep.
They would take it on train to station here in Tamaqua. They'd go to the freight station. They'd throw the steel on a wagon and bring it here.
Interesting. What is this all just?
That's the punchings.
Okay.
That's what's left over when you punch out a sheet of perforated metal.
Yeah. Interesting. That's heavy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Jeez.
That's probably 2,000 pounds, if not more.
Yeah.
Maybe 3,000 in there.
It's like the weight of a car.
It is. It is.
So your wife's family, you said, started this way back in the day, and then you got involved after getting together with your wife and kind of took it
Well,
over?
I worked under my father-in-law for about 7 years. He was getting to the point where he was thinking about retiring. That one when he was about 66, 67. So I worked under him for 5 years, then he stayed for a few more after that. So he retired. He was probably in his later 70s when he retired. My wife and I bought it off of him. So,
Okay.
Yeah, we've been here for 20 years now.
Okay.
I've been here for 24 years now. Something like that.
Would you recommend somebody run their own business?
If that's what you like, yes.
Okay.
I would. For me, it's the right thing. But
Yeah.
you have to want to see your name on it. You have to have pride in it. Running your own business does have some upsides to it. Free time isn't one of them. I've had people tell me they're going to go out and leave me because they wanted to start their own business, so they have a lot of free time. I said, "Oh, I love you." I said, "You're never going to make it," because I said everybody I know who made it in business and realized that they weren't knowledgeable enough to make it was in the office from 7 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night for the first 5 years until they learned how to do things right and how to make money and be fair to your customers. So if you think you're going to get into this to have free time, oh my goodness, no. You're kidding yourself. The only person who's foolish enough to start a business is somebody who doesn't want to work for somebody else 40 hours a week. So you work for yourself 60 hours to 80 hours a week. That's what it really comes down to.
And it's worth it for you?
For me, it is.
Yeah.
If your values are different and your priorities are different, it's not worth it.
Right. And
It's
that's
not
fine,
worth
right?
it. Yeah. And that's what it really is. You're building something you hope you can carry on a legacy. You can carry something forward. That's the purpose of it.
Sure. Yep.
So that's how I feel about it. Probably a lot of people feel differently.
No, I think there's probably a lot of guys in shops that, would consider starting their own business,
Like,
but
that's the kind of stuff we make right there. And they'll use that to strain things or
okay. Neat. What has there been any major mistakes you've made running a business that you look back and you say, I would have done that differently?
any mistakes. I try not to remember those too much.
There you go. Oh man, old scale. Geez, that's neat.
Like we make a lot of these filter baskets.
Okay.
That's an example of stuff we make right here.
Okay, so
we'll
they drop
perforate this, and then we fabricate these rings and then weld them on top. Somebody will put this in, whether it's a sewer treatment plant or a water filtering plant, and then you can filter the stuff you want. They'll sometimes put bags of carbon in there for a filtering process.
Yeah,
It's like a large filter for a fish tank, but for a water treatment facility.
Okay, cool. So the tariff stuff and business outlook, what are your thoughts on the whole, what's going on in the economy right now?
What's going on is, like I said, you don't make much in this country anymore. You just don't. I mean, Tamaqua was a perfect example. We had Atlas Powder in town here, part of DuPont Chemical. Employed 1,000 plus people, gone, went to Mexico or Central America. We had Morgan Knitting Mills. John Morgan, who donated the money for the cancer center down in Allentown, became very wealthy. He had a plant in hometown, employed 1,500 people. He sold it to Fruit of the Loom. They shut it down here and moved everything to South Carolina to pay people a little bit less. Then when they found out they could pay people in Central America a whole heck of a lot less, they're down there now. There's a town with 9,000 people that lost 2,500 good paying jobs. You tell me what that does to a town. Plus the coal mines aren't what they used to be either. So,
Yeah.
it's just different.
I think Tamaqua is probably a pretty good example of a lot of little towns across the U.S.
It is. It's a very good example of it. It shows how NAFTA doesn't work. NAFTA is good for Wall Street. Not good for Main Street. It's not good for the rest of the country. It's good for people on Wall Street because, if I can make something for a fraction of what it costs me to make it here and sell it for almost the same in the United States, I'll make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Of course I will.
Right.
No, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
Just watch Shark Tank. Their whole thing is, what do you make it for? Oh, I'll get you somebody in China who'll make it for $1. We'll get rich. Deal.
Right.
There goes 100 jobs.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
I get it. I mean, they're there to make money.
Sure.
No doubt. Any business is. or you
Right.
won't be in business. Not a charity, it's a business.
Right.
But, you know, you have to have fair competition.
Yeah.
And that's what Trump's trying to do with the tariffs, make for fair competition.
So you think a lot of the foreigners kind of didn't play by the rules, or you don't think it was fair, or?
I don't think it's the foreigners. I think it's our politicians. I don't think that they really understood the big picture. So I think a lot of them haven't worked their lives. They've been either professional politicians or professional attorneys that never really realized how to make a payroll every week. I think they looked at it and said, well, heck, if we can get all this high-tech work in, and we can do all these wonderful things with high tech, and we can make it for a fraction of the cost, why wouldn't we do that? And at first glance, that appears to make sense. But you know, we can't even make computer chips anymore, like I said before. They're made in China, Korea. If we got into a war with them, we'd have to surrender or send them a letter saying, please send us some stuff so we can fight you. It's ridiculous.
Right.
But they don't look at the big picture.
Yeah.
They look at what's going to make them richer today. If everybody else, you know, goes down with the ship, their answer is, screw you.
Right. They're
That's
on
how
top
they
of the
look
pile.
at it. They're on top of the pile. They figure I can stand on your head when you're in the water.
I guess they're bringing a lot of that stuff back. Like TSMC is starting to make chips
I hope so.
in Arizona.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think you'd be able to bring it all back, because I think
Right.
some of it that's really lower end, no, you can't. But I think a lot of it can be.
Yeah, and I guess like the other conversation is like a lot of the people that used to live in Tamaqua used to be swinging a pick in a coal mine. Like that's not
A lot
good
of
work. Or
It's not.
It's probably
And
not.
that's
but-
why heavy equipment replaced it.
Right,
You're
right.
And you'll have some of that. You'll always have some of that. But
Yeah.
you can't completely turn your back on production either.
Totally. Yeah.
You know, that's why there's no value added. They wonder why your country's poor now. People are poor. More people go across the street to the grocery store here. 9 out of 10 people pay with the access card in Tamaqua.
Yeah.
If it's not more than that. And the reason is, what do they have no job to go to, no value added. The country doesn't.
Right.
They're in financial straits. Your country still has money in it, but again, it's people who used to make a nice profit making stuff here, now making an astronomical profit overseas. They're becoming multimillionaires, and everyone else can't pay their heating bill.
Right. Yeah. So where do most people in Tamaqua work? Do they go down to Allentown and stuff, or?
They work where they can find work. You got to travel.
Yeah.
You'll have to travel. I mean, there's some opportunities here in Tamaqua, no doubt. It's not all bleak, but you know, at the same token, you're gonna have to travel. Lehigh Valley, Redding, over towards the Poconos, maybe up towards Hazleton or whatever. But yeah, I mean, and that's probably true a lot of the country, a lot of the state for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just different.
Yep. Gotcha. Interesting. Well, appreciate you showing us around. Thanks for your insight.
You're welcome. Thanks for stopping.
Yeah.
And maybe if you'd want to see the tool and die making, Jesse Williams, he's our tool and die maker. He'd be happy to go over it with you.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to see that
Yeah.
and how it joins up with
Yeah.
with the.
We could
the
have you do
punches.
that. Yep.
Cool.
That sounds good.